Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your host, your boy, your one and only Galaxy, and I'm signing in to another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe, amazing interviews with celebrities, daily recaps and reviews of popular television, The Walking Dead, Z Nation, Van Helsing, DC Titans, Flash, The Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, American Horror Story, Green Arrow, movie reviews, everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go. Welcome, guys, ladies, gentlemen, everyone, fans, first-time listeners, veteran listeners, and my loved ones. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for the support. I love it. It's so amazing. I see it online. I see it everywhere. The emails, madness. It's madness. You know, we've been here for a bit now together, right? So, in some episodes to come, I have some great news coming up, some more amazing things. And, you know, a lot of Comic-Con seasons coming up. I know next summer is the major, larger Comic-Cons, but coming up into wintertime, there's a bunch. And like I've said in the previous episodes, if you would like me to come to your Comic-Con events, do a panel, cover it, be a special guest, let us know. Go to comiccon-radio.com, send us an email, fill the contact form, go on social media, give me a call, 1-800-976-0305. There's so many ways you can get a hold of Comic-Con Radio, and you can get a hold of me, Galaxy. And we respond to everyone because we love everyone. Love you, love you, love you. I'm going to give some shout-outs. But first, this is the Van Helsing Season 3, Episode 2, Comic-Con Radio Show. Yes, Van Helsing is one of my favorite shows. I love Van Helsing. It's my top 4 shows. And sometimes it's number 1. You know, but, you know, I love Walking Dead as well. I love, oh my God, superheroes. You know, a lot of these shows are in their genres. So for the vamp genre, this is number 1. It's just number 1. Numero uno. And it's very unique. You know, it's not the typical vampire apocalypse thing, which, you know, can happen. It's just on another level. But they're all amazing. But like I said, it's in my top 4, sometimes my top 3 maybe, top 2. I want to give some shout-outs. Shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to Alex Povanik. Now, he plays Julius. And I hope I'm saying his last name correct, because I like to say it like that. It sounds cool. He's a cool guy. You see some of his images out there with him holding a cigarette. He does that for the fans. You know, he does it for the fans. You know, Mr. Paunovic, he does that, and a lot of fans love him. So he is Julius, the Master Seattle vampire that turned human and now is part of Team Vamp with Kelly Overton and Jonathan Scarf and Missy. Oh, Missy. Yeah. And with, you know, a bunch of other people, you know, Rogia Bernard and Vincent Gale. They're all kicking booty. But I want to give a shout out. Thank you, Alex. You're always supporting us on social media. Also, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Scab, Roland Pidlumby. And he's a cool dude. Always, you know, on Twitter, retweeting our stuff, loving it. So Alex does it as well. We're going to try to get them on the show. I know Alex already confirmed. He said yes. We're just trying to work out some dates. So hopefully we're going to be doing that pretty soon. But we'll get him on the show, get him on an interview. It's going to be cool. And, you know, hopefully get rolling out there. Also, I want to give a shout out to Vincent Gale. You know, he gives us some love and support on social media as well. Thank you, the entire cast of Van Helsing. I would love to get all of you guys on Comic-Con Radio, talk with you guys, let your fans hear your voice. And I would love to, you know, just chat with you guys. I don't really do interviews like, hey, okay, so, what about your this or that? No, it's just we're going to talk and kick it and chill, and it's done over the phone. Because, these days with technology, I can be on the toilet in my undies with a microphone in my hand and do a whole episode. Not that I do that. We have an actual studio. Come on. What do you think of me, okay? But I'm just saying, you could be in your underwear on a toilet bowl doing a whole episode of your podcast and then just edit it and air it. And then you have like 10,000 people listening to it. And they're like, oh my God, what an amazing show. He's like, I was in my undies playing with my beep, beep, beep. And I did the show. No, we have an actual studio. We're a little professional. We got some cool mics and whole cool cameras and a couple of crew members, maybe a few. We don't know. We're Comic-Con Radio. We got to set the standard, baby. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. Shout out to you guys. Can't wait to have you guys on the show. And everybody else. I want the entire cast on the show. I love you guys. We got to make this happen. But today, it's Season 3, Episode 2. A lot going on. It's October. And with October, it's a spooky month, right? Spookity-doopity-doopy day. I had to do that. It's October. It's October, and it's a spooky month. And we have to start off with the haunted house edition. Yes, it's the haunted house edition of Van Helsing. Now, the episode is not called the haunted house edition. I'm calling it the haunted house edition. The episode is called Super Unknown. What a cool name for an episode, right? The Super Unknown. So you know that. To me, I call it the Haunted House Edition because it's kind of spooky. Well, it is. It's not kind of spooky. It's absolutely spooky. The whole entire episode, to me, it was kind of spooky and fun and much different. It introduced a whole type of vampire to the genre. In episode 1, they introduced the daywalkers, the vampires that can walk in the day, handle the sunlight, whatever. They can do it. They're like, hey, I'm going to go out, get a coffee from Starbucks in the morning and bite somebody. And then at night, might have a party and wake up in the morning. While you vampires, in the day, if you come out, you dead. At nighttime, you ain't going to find me because I'm going to be hiding. But anyways, so the whole vibe is that spooky haunted house type of thing. And they go back in time. And they go back in time to the early time. I said time. They go back in time to the early 1900s, right? And it shows this creepy, asylum type of looking thing. And you see this carriage pulling up, and you see a lady and a gentleman walking out. And, that lady is Lily, right? That you see later in the episode. That's Vanessa and Scarlett's great-great-great-great-grandmama. And she's a badass killer as well. So she basically checks herself into asylum, puts herself in there so she can be basically, in there. Because apparently she knows that there's a vampire that's killing off patients and people that are living there, whether it's workers or whoever, because they have this creepy mausoleum in the basement. Now, there's a creepy mausoleum in the basement, and upstairs there's workers, right? Doesn't those workers know, or the security guards or the guards, that there's a creepy thing down in the basement in the mausoleum? Or maybe they don't go in the mausoleum. Maybe nobody from upstairs goes down there, and the ones that are going down there get killed off by that creepy vamp thingamajiggle, right? The show's evolving. They're starting to introduce different things, right? Because they're on this voyage to go find the different elders and kill them, take the totems, do all these things. So it goes to the asylum, and basically there's a killer vampire that's feeding on the patients, and so she crawls out of her room in the middle of the night. She hears something going on. It's one of the guards doing something really bad to one of the patients. And the guard notices Lily in the hallway, and he's like, hey, you're just in time for a little nightcap snack for me, freaking weirdo. So he tries to, take her and do bad things to her, but he doesn't know that's Lily Van Helsing. And she flips over, ties this his belt or keys or some kind of string up his butt and around his neck, and she chokes him in a way where he's kind of pig-tied. He's his balls are ripped up and he's being choked at the same time. He deserves it. That dude's a bad guy. He does bad things to the patients. And you can't do that, man. Back then, these people got away with a lot of crazy stuff. I wish there was more Lilies out there in the world that would have defended people, but it's Van Helsing. And, but still, I don't think she wanted to kill him. She wasn't there to kill a regular human, but he wasn't human, right? He was doing bad things to people that were helpless. So, hey, he got killed. Whatever. You don't do that. And then look, Lily killed your ass. And she killed him because she's like, yo, this is a bad dude. God even knows if he's taken those patients down there after he does bad things to them himself, and he takes them down there to that vampire to finish them off and drink their blood and all that kind of stuff and feed on them. Let's say feed on them, right? Let's say that. Not drink the blood, but feed. We know what they're doing. So anyways, you got to go back in time sometimes to understand people, right? These are the Van Helsings. If you know the Van Helsing story, Abraham Van Helsing, fought, Count Dracula and all these things, and the werewolf and Frankenstein and all that stuff. And, the story, not this TV episode, but the actual Van Helsing. So you kind of know what's up, what they do, what their family business is. Their family business is going after the unknown, especially vampires, creatures, and stuff like that, getting them because they're killing innocent people on feeding on them, right? So you got to go in the past sometimes to understand your future. So they don't have a time machine or anything like that. So what they do is they go to that asylum because that's their number one stop for the first elder totem. It's kind of the video games. You go to the first location, kill everybody, take the totem, and leave. Now, the elders with them along this whole trip, it's Scarlett, Harker, Vanessa, her sister. There's Mr. Jonathan, which is Axel. Jonathan. I'm saying his real name. I'm going to just go back and forth. And the elder. Now, the elder shape, because to be comfortable, is in the shape of Vanessa's once very best friend, Susan. So the elders form, and it's played by Hillary Jalamelili. No, it's Hillary Jardin. Great character. She got killed off in seasons before, but they want to bring her back. They want to keep her on. She's a great character, fan favorite. So they kept her, and the elder is in her form because they feel most comfortable. But the elder still does creepy ass stuff because when they're going towards the asylum, right? They pass by this one house. And, okay, I know you're probably thinking that this dude lives in some creepy-ass forest near an asylum where there's an elder, apparently, downstairs with crazy-ass psychic powers because he uses that to kill Lily, right? He has this big-ass, gigantic 5'5" head. Now, he doesn't even have a 4 head. He's a 5 head. And he electro whites in his head, his veins are electricity white. And he has this crazy look where his whole, out of his mouth and eyes, this white glowing effect comes down, and then everybody's brains get scrambled, and then they fall, and that's how he makes them collapse. There's people like that in there. And it's a creepy ass asylum. What the hell are you doing living in that forest? What are you doing there? And he was alone, He was alone. And these 4 people, 3 ladies and a guy, he's like, yeah, party time. Yeah, right. They'll kill you. One of them is the elder vampire, but he transformed into Hillary Jardin, right? Hillary Jardin's there saying, come on, baby, let's go. Anyways, they go to his doorstep, And he pulls out a gun. He's like, what do you want? And they're like, guide us to the asylum. He's like, no way, it's creepy. They're like, no, we got to go. And then Axel pulls out a freaking Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Keep your Kit Kat bar, Axel. I know it's the apocalypse, and treats like Kit Kat and all sorts of stuff are, scarce. And that's an advertising plug-in, Kit Kat, right? Right? 2 Kit Kat bar packages. It's a show. It's the actual Kit Kat. Kit Kat's a sponsor, which is cool. Hey, Kit Kat, come to me. I'll eat Kit Kats all day if you want. Anyways, so he gives him a Kit Kat, and the guy's like, okay, let's go. Weird, right? Weird as hell. You live in some weird-ass forest by yourself in the middle of the night near some asylum that has a graveyard in front of it. The world, okay, it's not like you live up in some creepy city and the world's normal. No. The world's been taken over by vampires and all sorts of creepy monsters, and you're living near an asylum with creepy monsters inside. I have to clear my throat for that. I cleared it for this guy. Anyways, so they take him, and he shows the way. He's like, come follow me this way. And, before he eats the goddamn Kit Kat, the elder attacks him, bites him, drinks his blood, and they're looking at Susan. And all of a sudden, when they're looking at Susan like with disgust, like, what the hell are you doing? That dude helped us. As she's drinking the blood from this dude's neck, Vanessa's eyes turn red. Creepo. And then Scarlett and like freaking Axel's like looking at each other, and they're like, did you just see that? Her eyes turn red while the elder is drinking the blood. Now, what I'm thinking is when the elder woke Vanessa up, woke up Sleeping Beauty in the first episode, and he bit her and woke her up, I think a connection happened. And I think that's why she's a little more aggressive, because I think she's getting these powers, or she's turning into something else, because she's evolving, right? These vampires evolve. They evolve fast, right? They're vampires, first of all. They're not human, right? So they're evolving. They have something in them that's constantly needs to feed blood, right? You've seen when Scarlett, or not Scarlett, but when Vanessa bites people, like they bend down forward and they like cough all this stuff out. So that stuff is probably the vampire, gene or chromosome or germ or whatever you want to call it in their system, or whatever that thing is, that blob thing that comes out of their mouth. When the elder bit her, do you think he put something else in her and now it's going to evolve her into something more powerful? Is it going to make her devious? It's called Van Helsing, right? Vanessa's the main actress. I don't think so, but maybe there's going to be like an uphill, downhill type of thing. And she's even afraid of that because she mentions it later in the episode, But anyways, so she attacks the guy, drinks his blood, and just like they like walk. Vanessa just turns around like, whatever. Her eyes turn red. What if Vanessa at that point was thinking, hey, I wish I did that. I wish I drank the blood. You know what I'm saying? So they go inside of the asylum, and there's all these people laying in these beds. Now, are they dead? Are they alive? We don't know, right? Because it's like, oh my God, chilling. Now, when I watch these episodes, I don't have any commercials. I watch the episode straight through, so I don't get that pause of, on regular TV shows when something's airing, and then it pauses, and then it goes into a commercial break, then it comes back. So during the whole commercial break, you're like, are they dead? Are they dead? Are they alive? Come on. No, I watch these straight through. So for me, it just went straight into they look like they're dead, and then all of a sudden a noise happened. I think one of them farted. And then one of the vamps woke up. And one of the vamps woke up, and then the other one woke up, and another one woke up, and they're shaking like all weird. And then they're not like regular vamps who'll be like, I'm going to bite you and tear you apart. No, they freaking have that same white veins popping in their head and stuff coming out of their mouth, and there's like glow. They're the psychic vamps. Let's call them the psychic, the telekinesis. Well, not telekinesis, but the psychic vamps, right? They have some kind of psychic power that like jams your brain and makes you want to bend on your knees and cry for your mama and be like, please stop. Okay, I'm getting excited. Let's stop for a second. Okay, anyways. So they're inside of that hospital, asylum, whatever you want to call it. And, these freaking things are like going crazy. They're going crazy. They're like, and who gets the short end of the stick? It's Axel, because, Axel still, he's human, right? Vanessa and Scarlett are evolved, right? They're evolved. They're different, right? They heal, blah, 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 blah. Axel just turned into vampire recently, then turned back into human recently. So he can't bear that because he's not a Van Helsing. He doesn't have their genetics or whatever comes with the Van Helsing genes or traits or whatever. I know Hot comes with it because they're both hot. Missy and Kelly Overton. Hotties. That does come with it. Have you noticed all these like saviors and superheroes and people that are like fighting everything and goodness are all sexy as hell, right? They're not like no bucktooth, like farty dick nose person. No, they're not digging their nose and farting all there. And they're like, sorry, I'm on my coffee break. No, they're like hot. They got six packs and they look like all like hardcore. They look like they could kick anybody's butt and be a supermodel and win a pageant at the same time, right? Right. So he doesn't have their genetics. And he gets really affected by it. So he like falls on the ground and he's still trying to shoot. So he shoots one in the head. Shoots him in the body. And then all of a sudden, Vanessa goes buck wild. She pulls out her two knives and she goes freaking berserk. She goes Deadpool berserk, like stabbing 50 times over and over and over, gets them. And then she figures out that getting them in the head kills them. Right? So these are different zombies. I mean, not zombies. These are different type of vampires. They got to get hit in the head to die officially because even if they get shot and stuff like that, they don't get affected by it. They got to get hit in the head or their spine has to snap, right? Or their brain has to get like penetrated with a sharp object for them to die. So she's like, in the head, shoot him in the head or hit him in the head. And then he starts shooting him in the head. He's still on the ground. And then all of a sudden, Vanessa's going crazy. They're all going crazy, killing them, hitting them. And then you see they're all like struggling, except, of course, Kelly Overton is not. Vanessa's not struggling. V is not struggling. And Scarlett runs to the vamp at the end. This dude at the end was the one that started the vibration thing with this type of thing, making everybody's mind go berserk. She runs over to him, right? Runs over to him, bites him on the neck. Now, we thought Vanessa only can do that. Scarlett's like, oh, I tried it out. I think I have the same powers too. And she bites him on the neck, and the guy goes on his knees, leans forward, does the ritual, right? And the vampire stuff comes out of his mouth. And he becomes human. He's like, oh my God, thank you so much. He's a creepy dude. I knew he was creepy. He had some bucked ass teeth, right? His teeth was all yellow. It looks like they were like 300-year-old teeth, yellow and dirty. And he looked like Uncle Freddy, but with ugly ass teeth, but a weird version of Uncle Freddy, right? He looked all weird. I knew there was something up with that dude because he was too nice from the get-go. The second he got turned back into human, he's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you. And he goes along with them. If you were a vampire for 100 years or God knows how long, right? And you are a psychic vampire, whatever, with that power that you have and all this other stuff, and then somebody turns you back into human, aren't you going to be like, okay, how the hell did you do that? Who the hell are you? Why are you here? And you're going to be in like some kind of shock, like how everybody else is, right? Everybody else that was a vampire and got turned back into a human, they were like shocked for a second. Okay, what's going on? What happened? Oh my God. They go through this like phase, right? They go through this phase of like, what? What the hell? What's going on? Right? So they turn him back. He's like, oh my God. Now, going back a little bit earlier, I don't know if I discussed this part with you, but Lily, which is the great-great-great-grandma, she actually, went down to the basement to find the elder, right? She went down to the basement and she found him. He's standing there. He looked like a creepy guy with a big-ass 5 head, right? Right or wrong? She dies, right? He does his little electric psychic thing. She dies, falls on the ground. And of course, he probably drained her and drank her blood. I don't know what she did, but later you'll see, I'm just saying this right now. So basically, she's gone. She dies, right? So coming back to the part where, the good doctor, the mad scientist guy becomes human again. He's like, oh, I'm a doctor and I was here and I was tending to the patients. Yeah, right. You a crazy psychopath, dude. You're crazy as hell. So they go with him and they're like, hey, do you know where people are buried? And he's like, yeah, I know where people are buried. I know where they are, So basically what happens is, and, they go to this room with a book. And the doctor remembers when their ancestor was like a patient, right? When their great-grandma was a patient, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, she died under mysterious circumstances, right? And that's code for vampire, right? She died under mysterious circumstances. She got killed. She got bit. Something happened to her. And basically, tells them where she got buried, right? And it's out there in Potter's Field with the rest of the patients who passed away. And basically, they go out there and he says, he pulls out a book and he's like, oh, yeah, she's in plot number 145 and go out there. So they go out there and Vanessa's like going buck wild. Like she pulls out a knife and she's like digging the ground and they're like looking at her. And it's kind of weird because, Axel's like, okay, we need some shovels and stuff like that. The doctor's like, well, yeah, let's go in here. And Axel and the good old doctor, they go inside this mausoleum-looking thing, creepy-ass building with this guy. Now, let me tell you something. It's the apocalypse. They're vampires. This dude was a psychic electric vampire. He just got turned human. You know nothing about him, Axel, sir. I know you're a fighter, military, whatever you are. You're going with some crazy-ass dude to go get some shovels? That's good that happened to you. But no, it's not good that happened to you. But hey, be aware of everybody. Be aware of your surroundings. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. Be aware of your surroundings wherever you go. Whether you go eating, out for a drive in the morning for your coffee, look around your surroundings. Be careful because there's crazies everywhere. And these shows, yeah, they show crazies, but there's crazies like that in the real life. They might not be vampires or mad scientists with electric vampire skills, but there's some crazies out there. So anyways, they go into there, and while they're in there, the freaking doctor hits Axel on the head. Bump. Hits him on the head, knocks him to the ground. Axel wakes up. He wakes up. He's tied in a chair. And the scientist is like, oh my God, just like how it was. My equipment's still here. He's crazy. He basically was the one that did all these crazy experiments on the patients there. Come on, back in those days, those crazy doctors, it was like a nonstop free human testers. It's like nonstop. And nobody would say anything because they believed the doctor is always right back then. Yeah, no, they're crazy. Let's put a worm up their nose, cut their brain open, and let's stick a prong up their butt. yeah, that'll make them healthy. Yeah, sure. And let's cut them in the neck so they bleed out and all the evil will come out. No. No. No, 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 no. Anyways, he gets knocked down. He gets put in a chair, and this evil doctor's like, I'm going to do this to you and that. And you see him with like this thing on a cap on his head, like a metal shock thing. Now, the doctor or the scientist doesn't know that Axel is a reformed vampire that turned back human, that can heal quick. But, they don't have time to talk right now. The doctor is the enemy. He is enemy number one. So that gives Vanessa and Scarlett time to talk outside. And Scarlett tells Vanessa, hey, what's up with you? What's going on? And Vanessa's like, nothing's going on. She's like, come on, tell me. She's like, is it about me and Axel? There's nothing going on there. She's like, no. She's like, are you sure? Because, I think Vanessa and Axel were supposed to be a thing, and then Scarlett and Axel hooked up and they're a thing. And Scarlett really shows her care and love for him because she was worried the whole time. Every time as they were talking, she kept turning to Vanessa, you think he's okay? You think he's okay? And Vanessa's like, chill out, he's okay. And she keeps worrying about him. So Scarlett shows the love. I think Vanessa shows the love too, but she just can't because she's on this mission, right? She's on this mission to find the totems. She got bit by an elder. God knows what's going on in her head and her system. Every time the elder bites somebody, her eyes turn like this, like glowing red. Like, I don't know if they have a connection. I don't know what's going on. So God knows what she's thinking in her head. And then Vanessa confesses and she's like, when the elder bit me, something happened. I just don't use blood to get stronger now. She used to use blood. She would bite people. You've seen it in the episode. She'd bite somebody, get this like mad human strength, and then she would go kick arse. But she's like, I don't just, bite people to get stronger now. I crave it. And she's afraid that she's like turning into a vampire. And she tells Scarlett, she's like, if that happens, you're going to have to kill me. And then Scarlett's just like, where the hell is Axel? She just takes off the subject, goes out. And, Axel's tied in that creepy laboratory, and that doctor and mad scientist, he's a crazy murderer, And what he did was he sucked the life out of everybody. So maybe that doctor, when these people became vampires, what he did with that electric stuff, maybe he made them into psychic electric people. I don't know, Maybe you gotta it's the apocalypse, it's vampires. You gotta just get creative and think all these things, And I do. So, Axel's in that chair and, the doctor's talking to him. And he zaps him and Axel's like, my head, whatever. And then there's a moment where Axel breaks free, right? And he basically crushes the doctor's head with the back part of the chair, crushes it badly. And that's good. He deserved it. He's a crazy murderer. He was 100 and something years old, geriatric, Social Security guy. That's good. His Social Security money goes somewhere else now. But anyways, that's what happened. That's what happened. And basically, you see Axel coming out of the building, and they're like, what took you so long? Where's the doctor? And they're like, doctor's dead. I killed him. And they're like, okay. Isn't it crazy how no questions asked? No questions. I killed him. Okay. They're so used to deception and twists and turns and people deceiving them and just killing people that he's like, I killed a dude. They're like, okay, that's cool. But he's like, when he was tied, Axel, he was questioning the doctor, getting stuff out of his mouth. And he got enough information. The doctor was like, Lily was wealthy, and the wealthy doesn't get, put into the field out in front. The wealthy goes downstairs in the mausoleum where all the rich get put in, right? The rich back then weren't buried underground. They were buried above ground in these mausoleum type of things, in these above ground creepy things where they have concrete slabs over them and they're rich and wealthy because, when you dig somebody and put them in the ground, it's just taking a shovel, digging it, putting them in the ground, and just covering it up and putting something over it. But when you're wealthy back then, you got to erect a house for them. That's like a mini house. Back then, that was like a 1-bedroom condo for some people, you know? It's like a 1-bedroom condo. And these dead are getting the 1-bedroom condo. Back then, you got to have money because back then, they're like, okay, I'm living. Should I make this into a condo for myself, or am I going to make a condo for this dead person? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, with that said, they went, Axel got the information. They went downstairs to the mausoleum. And the second they go in the mausoleum, that freaking vampire just comes out with his creepy one eye looking at them like, I'm here. Come here. Let me eat you. And he tries to do his creepy, crazy, electro-psychic type of thing. And it hurts Axel, right? Axel goes on the ground and the camera's shaking and Axel's on, he's like, oh my God, my head. You like that effect? He goes, my head. And basically, Vanessa's like, Scarlett, you take Axel out. Tell the elder to come here. And all of a sudden, the elder shows up like a superhero. And they stand side by side. Vanessa on one side, the elder on the other side. Of course, it's played by with Susan's body, or played by Hilary Jordan. And they're standing side by side, and they make this like pose. And I'm like, They're doing the Avengers pose, right? They did the Avengers pose. They're like staring at the dude, and they're like, we're going to get you in together. They form unity. No, just kidding. Together, they go and fight Mr. Elder. And they give him a good battle, right? They fight him, they punch, they kick, they get thrown. And basically what happens is while Vanessa's coming from one side, the elder goes from the other side, right? Not the electro elder, but Susan. She goes from the other side, quickly grabs the elder by the throat and rips his throat out. That's it. Rips the vampire's throat out, and the electro-psychic guy drops to the ground, and he's dead. So this elder vampire that's with them, that's in the body of Susan, or in the shape of Susan, is coming to be pretty handy, right? Yeah, very, very handy. Very handy and very helpful, because I don't think she could have done it without him. Maybe they could have done it. It's Vanessa, Scarlett, they could have done it. But Scarlett was being affected too this time. The guy was so powerful. Vanessa was being affected as well. There was a point when Vanessa fell to the ground, and I was like, uh-oh. She's going to get lilied now. But no, the elder helped. They defeated the guy. They killed him. And then they find Lily's body. They pull back the top of the body, and she was preserved perfect. Perfect. She just went to sleep for a 5 o'clock nap. Yeah, or 2 o'clock nap, sorry. She went for a siesta. She's napping. And in her hands is the totem, right? Which is the silver bracelet. And there's a large dagger, right? There's a dagger. And the elder's like, that's my bracelet. And then Vanessa grabs it. She's like, give me that shit. That's mine, right? She takes it because that's one of the totems, right? She needs it. This is all to defeat all these elders one at a time. And I love how the episode's going. I love this season because it has a purpose. Every other season had a purpose, don't get me wrong. It was showing the backstory, what's going on, season 1, how they were in that hospital, and, how they had to go. And then there's a revolution and all those people trying to, from within the vampire, place, trying to get them and all that. I get it. That was the purpose. But right now I love it like this because they're on a mission. They're on a mission. So just try to listen. Yeah, I love it. So she gets the totem and then she grabs the dagger, and the elder is like, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Warns her. She ignores, and she grabs the dagger. And, the elder says, to Vanessa, that's the dagger. And that's stained with elder blood. And Lily must have fought with Ba. Who is Ba? He's like some kind of scary boss elder, and Vanessa's probably going to have to fight him at some point in the future. The elder tells Vanessa she's unprepared for what she's going to face. That she can't fathom it. Vanessa wants the elder to teach her, right? But the elder's not just going to like tell her how to do it. He's going to show her, right? Seeing is believing. That's the best way. So basically, the elder tells her, oh, you can touch the sword, right? She grabs that sword, and that's an elder killer. So imagine how many elders were killed with that sword. Imagine. So this elder is like, oh my God, it has the blood of all these elders on it. It's dangerous, right? So who is Ba? Do you know who Ba is? Give me a call, 1-800-976-0305, on social media at Comic-Con Radio, or online, comiccon-radio.com. Leave us a message. Let me know, who is Ba? If you know, leave comments. Let's work on this together, right? Because as the episodes of Van Helsing goes, and we're going to be joining each other for the recap or reaction shows, interviews, and all that, we're going to find out a lot more things. And please remember these things, right? She finds the first totem. She gets the elder killer sword, right? She defeats the first elder that has a totem. She finds a little bit of history about her great-great-grandma, Lily, right? And she notices that she's basically craving blood as a beverage and not something to Red Bull her through her day, right? She's not using blood as Red Bull anymore. She needs the blood to survive. It's her food. And she's craving it. And imagine what's going on inside of her. So, this episode was really cool. A lot's been happening, Okay, a lot happened, but a lot didn't happen. It showed a lot of backstory for the great-grandma. It showed how the great-grandma died, which set up the sword, which set up the elder being there with one of the totems. Why Vanessa's eyes turning red, the situation. Basically, even at one point, Scarlett and Axel was like, did you see Vanessa's eyes turn red? They were like joking with each other. Did you see your eyes turning red? And they were like, yeah, oh my God, did you see that too? They were like just talking like buddy. And also, Scarlett and Vanessa, they discussed the Axel thing. Whose dude is that? Who's going to, be with him after all this? And I know Scarlett likes him a lot, but she's just playing that because she knows Vanessa. And Vanessa knows Scarlett likes her. So they're doing that, okay, you take him type of thing. And he's just in the middle. He's like, I'm down with you girls. I'm going to be with you guys. We got to see that creepy doctor scientist. We got to see that crazy dude in the woods that got killed and fed on. We made some shout outs. And this was a great episode. It was creepy. It's setting us up for Halloween. It's October. I hope the next episodes are creepier and creepier. I loved it. But one last thing. Right there towards the end when Vanessa asks the elder, she's like, teach me. And he's like, let me show you. The elder grabs Vanessa's head and basically they put their foreheads together, and she wakes up in the 1900s in Hong Kong. Like it's a flashback, or she actually lives it, or she's living somebody's body. Or did the elder zapped her back in time? Is she really there back in time? Or is this one of those like fictitious memories? Is it a fake memory that the elder's putting in her mind? Is it some kind of like mind manipulation thing? Or is it a mind travel thing where their bodies are there in modern time, but their minds are traveling back? Remember, this is past. This is not our time period, 2018. It's like 2020 plus, and did they zap back in the minds? Like, is she really there with the elder? Does the elder have that much power to actually, take her mental form back into a body of someone? Or is the elder showing her what happened with whomever he's trying to teach her, right? Because she needs to learn how to defeat these elders. And her ancestors defeated the elders in the past, right? Not all of them, of course, because there's some alive, but they have. So they have the key of how to do it. So instead of him saying, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to cut him like this, she's going to show it. And it makes good television because we have to see it too, right? She can't just sit there and do, Karate Kid type of thing where Mr. Miyagi's like, okay, no, Daniel-san, wax off. And then Daniel-san's like, dude, I'm cleaning your house, your cars, your everything. I gave you back rubs. When am I going to learn freaking karate? And then he's like, come here, pop. And it's like, she's learning. So he's doing a Mr. Miyagi, Daniel-san type of thing. And it's cool that it's in Susan's body because it's kind of nicer looking, right? Saves them money from makeup and all those special effects. Because if they have to create that crazy, creepy elder every time, it's like a lot of work. So it's kind of cool. It's more familiar. Hillary Jardin gets to work. She gets to be in more episodes. So they get zapped back into and why Hong Kong? Are they going to have to go to Hong Kong? Because I want Julius back and I want, I want them all back, right? I want Julius to come back. They went on a helicopter, right? They went on their own little path. And when are they coming back, right? When are they coming back? When is Doc? Doc's there, Flesh is there, Julius is there, and a couple other people, and they went on this like mission. And also, you gotta imagine this: Sam and Mo's out there, Muhammad. They're out there. They're like doing their crazy thing. Well, at least Sam is. Sam's like a freaking serial killer vampire. That's like crazy. And Mo's with him, and Mo doesn't want to be with him, but he has to because now he's a vamp, so he has to feed. Sam made him like that. So what's going to happen with that? What's going to happen with our other couple, Ivory and Scab, Ivory's played by Jennifer Cheon, and, Roland Pidlumby is Scab. And, what's going to happen with that? Because they're great characters. So she's going back in time to Hong Kong. Do they have to fly to Hong Kong? They're going to need a helicopter or a plane or whatever. So I hope they come back. I really love the character of Julius. Alex, great guy. I just want to get them all back together so they can kick butt together. It's really great how the episodes are going, but I think they all got to get together and they got to fight this together as a team because that's how they're going to defeat the elders. Right, ladies and gentlemen? Right. So big shout out on this episode to Kelly Overton. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Jonathan Scarf, Axel Miller. And thank you, Missy Peregrine, Scarlett Harker. She's also in another show called FBI, but I like her on this show more because she looks tough here. She looks more sweet and kind in the other show, but on this one, she looks tough. Is it the hair? Whatever, right? Big shout out to Alex, Vincent Gale, and everybody else on Van Helsing. Great episode. Can't wait. The plot thickens. Where are they going? They're going to be in Hong Kong, so get ready for some Hong Kong action in episode 3, right? Season 3, episode 3 in Hong Kong, 1900s. So get ready to see some cool stuff going on. Right, ladies and gentlemen, till the next Van Helsing episode. And you can catch Van Helsing Friday nights on Sci-Fi, right? Right after Z Nation. So Z Nation and Van Helsing on Sci-Fi Friday nights. Please watch it. It's amazing. Love the shows. This is your boy, Galaxy. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode on Comic-Con Radio. I love you all. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll-free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.